This is the Pride and Prejudice video scene reenactment. This is the group Melanie, Hayden, Lydia, and Jake. I'm Jake, and we all agreed on the summary for Pride and Prejudice is focused on a girl named Elizabeth Bennet and her family as they deal with love, reputation, and marriage in their society. When the wealthy Mr. Bingley moves into the nearby estate, he quickly becomes interested in Elizabeth's kind older sister Jane, while his friend Mr. Darcy seems rude, proud, and cocky. When he first meets Elizabeth, as the story continues, Elizabeth turns down a strange marriage proposal from Mr. Collins. Her friend Charlotte Lucas, though, later marries Collins for security, and a charming officer named George Wickham lies about Darcy, making Elizabeth dislike him even more. Darcy eventually decides to confess his love to Elizabeth, but she angrily rejects him because she believes what Wickham said about him and thinks Mr. Darcy ruined Jane and Bingley's relationship. Later, Elizabeth learns the truth from a letter he wrote that Wickham is dishonest and is a bad man, and Darcy actually saves her family's reputation later on after her younger sister Lydia runs away with Wickham, paying the debts and helping them get married. Elizabeth realizes she judged Darcy too quickly. Darcy becomes kinder and more humble at the end, and Jane marries Bingley, and Elizabeth marries Darcy, showing how both of them grow and overcome their pride and prejudice. Bang. The opinions. Yo.
Thank you for grabbing
It's very important, okay?
the trash.
I got you. Oops. Lydia Marie Combs' opinion. In her opinion, she thought the book was like a 2 out of 5. The language was written in standard literature, which was tough to understand and read. The book was boring in her opinion, but it was well written, being based in the 1700s. It has its social classes, wit, and enemies to lovers, and she thinks the book should be considered a classic. Hayden Walsh Shore's opinion. She rated the book a 3 out of 5. She understood the plot and the concept, but found it hard to follow along. There was no high point of the book in her opinion, and she thought it was kind of boring. She thought it was very well written for being based in the 1700s, and she thinks the book should be considered a classic because it was written in true English literature. Melanie Ann Lynn. In her view, Pride and Prejudice should be a classic book. It has a witty social classes, themes, and still relates to the modern relationships. She would rate the book a 3 out of 5. It shows the importance of love and overcoming issues in a relationship, the gender roles in marriage, the time had, and the impact of the story. The book was hard to keep her attention, and it often bored her, though. Overall, the book was good, and she thinks you would enjoy it if you like the time periods of the 1700s. Jake Rockwell Cutwicky's opinion. Personally, I would rate the book 4 out of 5. I rate the book this way because I found the plot very interesting with the storyline and the plot twist that came throughout the book. Though, I did also find it hard to read and to understand at times, given the book's use of literature from about 200 years ago, and the many characters, I did tend to mix them up sometimes. But I do think it should be considered a classic because of how old it is, being based from 1700s, and its old theme, with everything feeling old-fashioned with the way society looked like in the book. There it is. And that's Pride and Prejudice to our group. Enjoy our scene reenactment. Bro, hit the button.
Come, Darcy, I must have you dance. I can't have you standing around in such a stupid manner.
I certainly shall not. You know how I detest it, unless I'm particularly acquainted with my partner. Your sister is occupied, and there is not another woman in the room whom it would not be a punishment to dance with.
I will not be as particular as you are for a kingdom. I never met with so many pleasant girls, and there are several that are uncommonly pretty.
You are dancing with the only attractive girl in the room.
She is the most beautiful creature I've ever beheld. But there is one of her sisters. She is very pretty too, and very agreeable, I dare say.
She is tolerable, but not attractive enough to tempt me. One. May I have the next dance, Miss Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is wish for you to dance with Mr. Darcy?
I dare say you will find him very amiable, as he would be most inconvenient to love him for all eternity.
I love this dance indeed. Where? Wait a moment. Vigor, do you turn to say something, Mr. Darcy? I talked about the dance now. You ought to remark on the size of the room, or the number of the couples.
I'm perfectly happy to oblige. Please advise me of what you would like most to hear.
That reply will do for pause, present perhaps by, I may observe that private roles are much pleasanter than public. Once for now, we must remain silent.
Is it why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
What have you discovered?
Very little. I hear such different accounts of you. That puzzled me.
Exceedingly, I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
Is that Mr. Darcy of Pemberley? I believe so. I must make myself known to him immediately. He's with the esteemed virtuous Lady Catherine.
Mr. Collins, will you consider it an impertinence?
Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy.
Good evening. What interesting relatives do you have, Miss Elizabeth?